Namaskar. Everybody is welcome today for my next video under the channel name Bharat Ek Barkat. So this is the next video I am making for all the audience. I'm doing this for some time and I thought that it will be interesting, but somehow or the other I got a feedback from most of you that it is becoming more boring, a little bit longer. So I thought that from now onwards, I will not give my talk or speech. I will have conversation between me and you. And I know that some of you may be listening to this audio while you are in your living room, or while you are in your bedroom, or you are doing some kitchen work, or you are driving, or you are looking at your cell phone. So I think this is I want to keep it more informal. Before it was mostly formal, but now I want to keep it mostly informal, and I will talk to you, you will listen to me. The only problem is that you cannot talk back to me. You cannot you cannot talk to me. So, but I will get rid of this problem in coming video, that you can talk to me. That means I will be starting live streaming, so that we will have a few speech people, some expert, and some other person from the community, and even I will include you. If you want to participate, you are welcome. So we will do a live streaming. Okay, today I thought I will be talking about religion proper. But before I go into depth for religion, I thought I will explain you more about, before that I want to cover one thing before I go into the main religion, so you can understand what I wanted to talk to you. Basically, I want to talk to you now is called religious and communal crime. So I want to have some light on what is the crime that humanity have seen or humanity will see. So what are those crimes? And as per my knowledge, there are two types of crime. One is called minor crime, or we call it misdemeanor, and the other one is called major crime, that we call it felony. Anything which is punishable by less than 1 year or 2 years of imprisonment and some fingerprinting and all those things, that is called misdemeanor. And if it is more than 2 years and is a major crime, then it is called felony. So let us talk about these crimes before I go into the religion, because most of the time religious activity is for the peace time, but almost all the religions have peacetime and wartime, or crime and this and that. You will see when we talk about in our next coming video. But this time, pay attention, just you cannot talk back to me, I'm sorry, but next time, maybe next video or after that video, I will start to do live streaming, and also I would like to do sharing of the computer screen and those things, so you can see what we are talking and what are the questions that we are getting. Okay, so let us start, and please be patient. I will try to make it as informal as possible. So just keep watching, and if you have any questions, just write on the bottom here, on the comment section, I will get those questions, and we will discuss those questions in next upcoming video. So it will be better if we get as many as questions we want. So let us talk about this topic today is called religious and communal crimes for the mankind. So let me start from the very informal way. The first title is, in what situation an individual has a fundamental right to kill other individual? That means, what situation I can kill, myself can kill somebody else legally. So, what do you think? So I have did some research, and this is what I have found out. Self and family defense. If your family or you perceive a threat to your life that you can be killed, in that situation you have fundamental right and legal right to defend yourself and your family, and you can kill somebody. This is called self-defense and family defense. Then there is another situation where you can kill, as a common citizen, you can kill somebody. That you can do it by protecting your own country. For example, one army is killing some other army. It is a war. In that war, a person who has a gun or a common army, he can kill the other person who also has a gun, because he can kill you and you can kill him. It is like an army war. You are innocent, the person is also innocent, he is a son, or he is a husband, or he is a grandfather, dad, whatever is the siblings of anybody in the community. And here in this army, I am also innocent, I have my family, I don't know the other army individual, who they are, what they do, but in the wake of my country, to safeguard my country and to safeguard my nationality, I can legally, government or the country allowed to kill that person. This is called killing by another. Now there are certain crimes. Now that's the only situation where you can, as an individual, you can kill somebody without major repercussion from the society or from the law. Now, there are certain crimes which are punishable by law. And what are those? Those crimes are murder and suicide. Now, murdering somebody or killing somebody, apart from those two exceptions which I gave you, that self-defense, family defense, and protecting sovereignty and political ideology of your country, that is separate. But anything else, for example, now let us see there are certain situations, and you have seen this and you will see this, that you can get away with even the killing. You can get away with killing. Now, in what situation you can get away with killing? That you can kill somebody and you won't be held responsible for that. Now, these are the traditionally, it is called mob killing. Once a crowd comes and kills a person or somebody, you cannot hold a particular, because you cannot charge the whole mob or whole crowd for homicide or something. So traditionally, a mob killing, you cannot pinpoint who has killed. Like you cannot, the culprit cannot be traced. You cannot trace the culprit who killed it. This is the traditional teaching that we all know. But in modern time today, culprit can be pinpointed, and we have seen this. Nowadays, almost everybody has a cell phone camera. People are doing videography. There are closed caption camera, which is called CC camera. You also nowadays, because of technology, we have a drone that can take live video or still photography and live video. You can zoom it, you can change the angle, you can see from upside, the right side, left side, behind. You have a software to pinpoint who actually did the killing. And not only that, we have a technology, satellite technology, satellite imaging. Believe me, many years back, maybe 20, 30 years back, when the world has launched a satellite in the space, USA and Russia and other countries, there was a education that the camera in the sky is so strong that from space you can look into the backyard and see how many oranges are put in a plate. This is the technology from satellite. So nowadays, because of modern technology, you can pinpoint who is the culprit and who is doing what. We have seen this just last year, a few months back, that there was a communal riot and all those things in India, and Chief Minister Mr. Yogi figure out who burned the bus, who burned the house, who did that, who's doing stone pelting, who's firing pistol in the crowd. So all of these things are photographed and videotaped, and you can pinpoint. So now the mob killing is not so easy that you can get away with this. Now you cannot. And there are other things also. The other thing that you can get away with killing is typically, I call it, it can be a major crime, but some people get away with that, which is called vehicular manslaughter. By knowingly or unknowingly, if you are driving and somebody is killed, or you thought that, okay, I can just kill somebody with my vehicle, my car or truck, and then what can happen ultimately? Negligence of driving, wrong traffic violation, and this and that, and you get a minor punishment for that, and this and that, and you can get away by killing. Well, it's a gray area. Depends upon what was your intention, how the vehicular manslaughter happens. So I don't want to go into too much detail of that, but people can get away with that. Now, after that, I wanted to tell you about that killing a person is not a communal responsibility, not an individual responsibility, not a community responsibility. Killing a person, apart from all these things, it is called legal killing, and legal killing, which is, there are things which is, there is a process you have to go through. A country has to go through a process just to kill one person. For example, you have a criminal court, and there are district court, state Supreme Court, country Supreme Court. So you can start your criminal case from lower court and keep on going higher and higher and higher. If you don't agree with the one sentence, you can appeal, depending upon what resources and what time you have, what resources you have, how much patience you have. You can keep on going up on the judiciary system, and then finally you get conviction. Now after that, even after that, which is called the criminal courts give a verdict for death sentence. Suppose it gives a death sentence. Now, lot of countries, lot of developed and free country, they are getting away from death sentence, but we are living in modern time. Out of all the country of the world, more than 50% of the country, they believe they have a verdict called capital punishment. Capital punishment simply is another term for death sentence. So country pass a verdict for death sentence. Now, what are the ways how you can proceed? What is the process for death sentence? You can do it by hanging. Then it is done by lethal injections, and you can do it. It can be done by electrocution. You must have heard. I don't know if in India they have it, but here in our USA, they have an electric chair that they can put you in an electric chair and give you shock, and you're finished. That's called electrocution. And there are a lot of other means of passing death sentence. In some brutal country, Middle East or something, tooth for an tooth, eye for an eye, you must have heard about that. So those things are different things. Now, even after death sentence, there is something extra layer of protection is there, which is called pardoning. The highest authority of the country, for example, especially the president, the highest political authority of the country has a power to pardon a capital punishment. Now, there are certain criteria how it can be done, but of course it can be done. Death sentence can be pardoned, or the severity can be reduced. A death sentence can be changed into life imprisonment. Life imprisonment can be changed into 20 years or 15 years of punishment or something. And there are a whole process of that. That is a different thing. One thing I want to talk to you here about something, this passing of death sentence. There is a special term we use that is called executioner. You must have heard the name executioner. In medieval time, in old days, there were executioners who used to chop off the head, or who used to electrocute, or who used to have especially in medieval time in England, they used to have a special axe that they can just chop off the head and all those things. There was a guillotine, remember, in French Revolution, Queen the 116th, I think, in the French Revolution, he was guillotinized, you know. It's a big guillotine that drop and cut off the head. So these are called executioner. That means a person carrying out the killing punishment is called executioner. Now this particular thing, executioner, nowadays we don't have too many executioner in any country. Very few of them. It runs this kind of profession runs into the family. Not anybody can do it, because the philosophy is the same. You have not seen that person. That person has not seen you. You never had any kind of interaction to this person, and you are legally authorized to kill that person. This is a very heart-wrenching feeling. You, in a normal sense, you cannot do it. Even if it is you are executioner, in our Hindi language it is called jallad, जो फांसी देता है, जो गला काटता है, पॉलिटिकल एक कंट्री की तरफ से, देश की तरफ से, उसको बोलते हैं executioner. He is the executioner. So it is a very heart-wrenching thing. And I was told, I was listening to a talk from Mr. Tufel Chaturvedi some time back, and he mentioned that to pass a sentence, for an executioner to give a hanging or to killing somebody, the executioner in British time, they used to have a quota of whiskey or alcoholic drink, so that when they carry out this execution, they should not feel too much. They just do it, and they were allowed from the government. But those things are old days. Now everything is gone. And before we go quit this topic, I want to just talk about one more thing, which is called mercy killing, which is in medical term, it is called euthanasia. Mercy killing simply means that you kill somebody, not you, but a particular authority, especially the state or the government, do killing to alleviate the suffering of that person, which is called mercy killing. So mercy killing is something like euthanasia. I don't know if you know this. In USA, there was a physician, and he did this for many years in 90s and 80s and 90s and even in 2000. His name was Dr. Jack Kevorkian. He used to give a lethal IV drip at the request of patients, those who are terminally ill, and they were very excruciating pain, and they will die in a few weeks or months anyway. So he used to allow them to ask for this kind of treatment, to give a lethal drip or injection, and they give the button to the patient so they can control the drip, and that's called the mercy killing. However, this was completely illegal even here, so he was put behind the bar in the jail in, I think, Portland, Oregon, and finally he died in the jail. So that was called mercy killing. Now there are few terms I wanted to talk about that, and these terms are, which I wanted to discuss very quickly. Insurgency. The insurgency is a violent armed rebellion against an authority or an order. They wage a small, highly armed their group who practice guerrilla warfare in the rural-based setting, and they are very easily mixed with the rural population, and once in a while they just pop up and do the urgency. And what they do, they try to attack on the army or the controlling authority of a large, well-equipped regular military forces of the state, because the whole idea is that insurgency don't kill the innocent people. They attack on the army or police or some controlling authority for that, and this is called urgency. So this insurgency is especially insurgents against the state army. This is called that. Now the next term I want to discuss is called rebel or rebellion. It is an uprising or insurrection. Rebel means it is a refusal or refusal of obedience of an order. That some sociological or political order is there, and you don't follow that order, and this is called a open resistance against the order or established authority. This is called rebel. It can be of two types. Rebel. One is the peaceful, which is like they have different name for this peaceful rebellion, which is called civil disobedience or civil resistance or non-violence resistance. We all know about Mahatma Gandhi, nothing to explain you that. The second part of this rebellion is called violent rebellion, and I will talk about 2-3 terms for that. The first one comes to my mind is called terrorism, then this sabotage, and the guerrilla warfare. These are called violent rebellion. This is for that. Now the next one is riot. Riot is a communal violence, also referred to as ethnic violence, and some of the community or some of the country which they try to justify by saying that it is a non-state conflict. It just happens. It is nothing to do with the state. So it is called riot. And after that, there is something I want to talk about. Is called in culture you will see, which is called honor killing. And honor killing, or it is also called shame killing, is the murder of an individual by someone trying to justify that he is protecting what they see it is a dignity and honor of the family or community or religion. They call it honor killing for that. And the next I wanted to talk about is called terrorism. Now the terrorism, there is this is my own definition. There may be a lot of confusing definition of terrorism, but the one I feel is the correct in my mind. It is called, terrorism is called individual, so the killing of innocent people for political and religious gain. Once again, killing of innocent people for religious and political gain is called terrorism. If you kill innocent people just for political and religious gain, for example, you remember those planes that they hit the Twin Tower in New York, that was terrorism. And it can be individual to individual terrorism, it can be community to community terrorism, it can be religious sponsored, it can be community sponsored, it can be country sponsored. Now when it is a country sponsored terrorism, they can, sometimes they get away that, oh no, it is not my country, we don't believe in terrorism. These are the non-state actors. What do you mean by non-state actor? Non-state actors live in your country. So it is your duty to hold that responsible, control, whether it is a state actor or it is a non-state actor. This is your country, you must stop that. This is called terrorism. So this is the one for terrorism. And now the last thing I wanted to talk about is war. War is from, there are two types of war I wanted to talk to about, three types in fact. One is called political war, which is going on with Russia and Ukraine, and you have seen some war before that, Afghanistan and USA, Afghanistan and Pakistan, and Iran and Iraq war. This is a political war. Then there are holy war. Nowadays, holy war is not so common. There is from 1100 AD to 1400 AD, something around that. These are called holy war. I'm sure you must have heard about that, which is called crusade. So we'll talk about that crusade when the time comes. And the third type of war, which is called jihad. So I will talk about these three types of war at this time. So political war and holy war, we all talk about that. Jihad, there are two types of jihad I will talk about. One, it is called the internal jihad, that is the ideological, cultural or sociological struggle to safeguard the Islam. When it comes to jihad, I will talk about Islam because it is the word used in Islam. Then there is something called external jihad, which is a physical struggle to safeguard the Islam, which is called external jihad, that you physically do certain wrong struggle of war. This is called external jihad. Now, as per Islamic ideology, most of the jihad terms in their mind, it mostly means internal jihad. That's they call it internal, that's what they justify. But a non-Islamic culture, they mostly believe that the jihad simply means external jihad. So this is called the external jihad. Now finally, I think there is one more thing I wanted to discuss. This is the last thing for today's video. We'll talk about the collateral damage. Now, it is very easy to understand this collateral damage. I will give you an example, same example like Russia and Ukraine. It is now more than 2 months now that this war is going on. Now, there is a fighting going on from Russia to Ukraine side and Ukraine side to Russia. During this fighting, bombshell and rockets and all those tank fight and this and that, armies, personnel are being killed on both sides. But at the same time, something goes wrong, or just by the nature of war, innocent people are also killed. Some community or some individuals or some normal people and normal innocent people are also killed. How they justify this kind of killing? This is, they call it collateral damage. Now this collateral damage, let me explain you this now. Nowadays, there was a lot of, after World War I and after also World War II, the humankind have seen lot of miseries and deaths and diseases because of war. So they sit together and they make a charter like a UNO, and they come into a convention called Geneva Convention and this and that. The whole idea was that let us stop the war altogether, and even if that happens, we should keep the collateral damage to its minimum. This is a normal policy for any war. You just cannot shoot down a community or a town. Your whole aim is destroy the machinery, not the innocent people. So this is called the collateral damage. Now this collateral damage is a modern term. It's not an old term for many years. In old time, remember, and this is my experience and my when I have done research, this is what I feel, that this collateral damage is if you remember, in old days there was a castle and there was one army was moving. It's not like nowadays that you put in a plane and go and drop and fight. The war in those days was a long process. You have to register to an army. Army is supposed to march. Army is supposed to move from one area to the other area. It may take weeks, months, years to go there. So when the army moves, they not only move the soldiers and all those things, the whole community moves with them. Wife, children, mother, father, everybody used to move. And when they used to go and seize a castle, when they get a chance to enter into the castle and to go there, they don't bother who they are going to kill, because they are dealing with enemies. The soldiers are enemy. The citizens are enemy. The women are enemy. The children are enemy. So in those days, you can see in medieval time, in ancient time, when a area wage war to other culture or other area or country, they don't think of collateral damage. They just wipe out the whole population. This was the war. That was the war time. So that was, I'm saying that collateral damage is a new concept. Some people, most of the country, I suppose more than 90% of the country believe in that. Collateral damage should not happen, at least keep it to a minimum. But remember, in old days, this term was not there. When you go and fight with the army, your objective was to wipe out the whole army. You don't think of collateral damage in those days. So this is a new concept now. Of course, we have become more intelligent, and there are more wisdom. So that's the way it is called, collateral damage. But as I said before in my previous videos, that as we progress decades by decades slowly because of this advanced technology, the idea of physical war is going to be less and less, because just look at the changes which happens from ancient time to modern time. Before, one whole army was facing the other whole army. There was nothing, just sword and spears and bow and arrow. A whole army can deal with the other army, front to front. But now things are so lethal. The intelligent guns, the intelligent tanks, the aeroplane, this and that. To face a whole army face to face is a very dangerous situation. Your whole crowd will be killed, whole army will be killed. So they are leaning towards ambush or guerrilla war, or let us soften the target, bombardment from the air and then walk through slowly. The whole idea is to keep the human casualty minimum, even if it is an army or soldier. So slowly and slowly, the soldiers will be converted into robots, and robots will be artificial intelligence. Things will be changing, keep on changing like that. And ground fight is going to be less and less and less. I think this Ukraine thing, it will give some lesson how to go further from here. So this was the topic for human crimes and communal crimes at this time. And then from next time I will talk about more about the religion proper, and I will explain you what I wanted to do in religion proper. Thanks for listening to me, and I thought this will make you a little bit more interesting to understand the normal nature of the mankind at this time, so that my whole idea, I am doing this to do what I can do for my original country, in my original community. So I will keep on explaining you, and very near future, I will start like video streaming, so that lot of people can give their input and we can increase our knowledge. At this time, this is only me, but I may be wrong, I may be right. So we'll see how much percentage of my lecture is correct and how much is wrong, what new things we need to change our thinking and our understanding. So once again, thanks for listening to me, and have a nice trip or have a nice time at your home, at your office, wherever you are, and enjoy, and Jai Shri Ram.